Hey there, and welcome to Crochet Therapy. I'm Barbara, your host for this episode of Morning Coffee and Crochet. And this is our Whip Wednesday edition of Morning Coffee and Crochet. And I am so happy that you're here. I just want to tell you, come on in and let's sit down. Let's have a beverage. I am having hot coffee with a little bit of half and half, and we are going to crochet together. Grab your hooks, grab your yarn, grab your current project, and let's crochet. Yeah. Mm. This coffee is really good this morning. What is in your cup? I want to know because I'm nosy that way. What can I say? And let's see. Whip Wednesday banners. This is our Whip Wednesday edition of Morning Coffee and Crochet. And I want to see what is in your cup. Let me know. Let me know in the comments if you're watching later. Let me know in the comments what's in your cup today. I want to know because I'm nosy that way. Oh my goodness. I'm going to just sit here for a minute and drink a little bit of coffee. Let me know what's in your cup this morning. Hey, if it's ice water, good for you because the weather is still hot around here. I don't know about you, where you are in your neck of the woods, but in my neck of the woods, the current temperature is 77 degrees Fahrenheit, but the real feel is 89. And I'm a little over it. I'm over it. I'm ready for fall. Speaking of fall, how many days left in fall? Let's see. Okay. Let us share that screen. $33 days. 33 days until autumn or fall. So we have 33 days left of summer, officially anyway. And let's hope that the weather turns a little cooler before the end of those 33 days. I am ready. I don't know about you, but I am surely ready for fall. 33 days, 4 hours, 28 minutes, and 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Mm. Mm-hmm. Yes. So let me show you what is on my hook this morning. I have decided to work on something different. I've been working on all of my dishcloths forever, right? And so I just decided today to work on this little baby, which is my pillow cover. And hey, good morning, Miguel. Good morning to you. How are you? I hope you're doing okay. So that's what I'm working on this morning, and I'm just going to sit here and crochet, and we can chat if you want, or we can just crochet together, and that works too. I'm going to bring you down just a little bit. I've got my guess what chicken butt shirt on today. Carl says hi, and he's going to look over my shoulder as I crochet. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Mm-hmm. Oh, you're not too well this morning. I am so sorry, Miguel. I'm so sorry. I hope you feel better soon. I still have to watch your video to see what's going on. I know that your car broke down yesterday, and I'm really sorry about that because I know it was hot. I know that you suffered in that heat waiting, and then I'm not sure what else happened, but I'm really sorry about that. I really am. It's rough. Life takes turns sometimes that we don't expect, and sometimes it feels like it's just one big turn after another. And so I am sorry about that. I was telling my husband last night I can't wait for fall because I'm just, ready for the cooler weather and everything. But we were talking about how fast 2025 has just flown by this year. We've just packed so much into 2025. And he asked me a question. He's like, do you, what do you hope that 2026 looks like? And I said, well, I honestly hope that 2026, we don't have to make so many doctor appointments. This year has been like a record for me with doctor appointments and um, just various things. I just trying to figure out what's going on with me. And these things have been going on for a while, years actually. Um, and I tried figuring out what was going on, but not successfully. And it just seemed like I wasn't getting any answers. And they're finally checking for answers. Um, but I don't know if we're going to find anything. I don't know if we're going to figure out what's going on. So it's a little discouraging. But we keep checking, we keep testing, we keep seeing what is happening. But let me tell you, if you are under the age of 40, enjoy. Enjoy that vibrant energy. I know you're tired. I know you are. Um, is part of it because you're staying up too late? Is part of it because you're staying on your phone too long? I know that will drain my energy and just make me very, very tired. And when I was in my 30s, I did stay up too late. I did. I could still stay up late and go to work the next day. Um, it was starting to affect me though, but I could. Um, but I remember on the weekends, oh my goodness, I would stay up all night crocheting. And like I would get something in my head. I remember one year for Christmas, I crocheted something for everyone. This was in the 90s. And so I crocheted blankets. This was before I knew about like 6 weight yarn. Like my store didn't carry 5 or 6 weight yarn. They just didn't. They carried, Red Heart Super Saver. But I found this pattern. It was like quick and easy blanket or 6 hour blanket. I think it was called something like a 6 hour blanket, right? And what you did was you took 4 strands of yarn and a cue hook. And back in the day, my cue hook was this big blue fat hook, right? I mean, it was really large. I still have it somewhere. And I think that they still carry it. It's a boy hook, Boye hook. And so there were 3 ladies um, in the office that I worked with. And um, so I made each of them a blanket. Or maybe at that time there were only 2. I don't know. And so I took coordinating colors of yarn. Now, back in the 90s, remember the colors were burgundy, hunter green, and like a royal blue, right? Or a navy, between a navy and a royal blue, right? And so I took those three colors, and they were in yarn that had it wasn't glitter. It was just, it had like a frost to it. Okay. So it wasn't a solid like burgundy hunter. It was a frosty looking. It was really pretty yarn. And then I took an oatmeal color, and I put those four together, and I crocheted this 6-hour blanket. And basically all it was using 4 strands of yarn, and so 4 strands of yarn and a Q hook, and I made basically a lap blanket. You know, it was enough to cover you while you were on the sofa. And it was about, you know, a little bit wider than when you sat on the sofa, and long enough to go to your feet and cover you here too, right? And so I made blankets for the girls at work. Another one that I made, it was in blues, and it had a little bit of a cream, and it was in that same type of yarn. You know, it was just like really frosty, really pretty yarn. Good morning, Catherine. Good morning. Grab your hook and your yarn and come on, let's crochet together. I hope that you are having a great, great Wednesday morning. Okay, let's see. In the 99s, I crocheted myself a granny stitch ripple afghan burgundy, hunter green, and ecru. Yeah, yeah, that had flecks. Yep. We may have even used the same yarn, Miguel. Isn't that something? Yeah. Oh, he says, I loved it on the back of my sofa. However, I lived in a low-income housing apartment that had a laundry room. Someone stole it out of the water. What? Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry that happened. You know, on the one hand, it's flattering because they were like, that is a beautiful blanket. I'm going to take it. But on the other hand, they stole your blanket. That's not right. Oh, you have the day off. Oh, you meant in the 1990s. Yes. I bet we used that same yarn. Yay, Catherine has the day off. Grab your hook, Catherine, and let's crochet together. Let us crochet together. That was terrible. Don't listen to me singing. Oh my goodness gracious. So you meant in the 1990s. Yes. You know, Miguel, we probably did use the same yarn, because the one that I had, it was like, it did have like flecks or a shadow, or it had something. I know. You would have. You would have. Miguel says, I probably would have made them one if they had just asked. Yes, you did feel violated because they stole your property. I'm so sorry that happened. Yeah. So anyway, that blanket, because I used 4 strands of yarn, it was so squishy and soft, and it was just really, really nice. Like, it was fun. It was a fun thing to crochet. And then um there was somebody that I knew who was having their first baby. So I took that yarn, I took baby yarn, and did 3 strands, so it wouldn't be quite as thick, right? I did 3 strands, and an end hook, which at that time it was a gray hook. I need a little bit of, ooh, getting your tea. Oh, I have a beautiful voice. Oh my goodness, it's a little gruff today. Yeah. Mm. Oh my goodness. Yesterday, one of your subscribers recognized you in the store. That's amazing, Miguel. That is just amazing. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That is fun. Oh, size 4. Yeah, 4. You recognize that, right? I am crocheting a pillow and I'm using a 4 weight 4 weight acrylic yarn. It is I love this yarn in Old Glory colors. And yeah, so I'm making it with a 4 half double crochet so that there's not really it's still soft. It's still soft and flexible, but that way there's not really any holes. So yeah, yeah. That is awesome. That is awesome, Miguel. How fun. So yeah. And that same year I crocheted doilies for my boss and his wife, and so she was very much into country. Like back then it was like so country, right? It's funny. I mean, it was almost Hobby Lobby country. She did like shabby chic kind of country and primitives and um, just, things like that. So, oh my goodness, it was just kind of crazy. I used what I had too. And because like there were back then they were making like handkerchief dolls and stuff like that. Well, I didn't have a handkerchief, but I had a napkin and it was old. And I did the tea stain on it and I turned it into a little doll. And oh my goodness. Oh no, you had a primary doctor appointment this morning. After heat exhaustion from yesterday, you have rescheduled it. Yes. Yes. Oh, Miguel, I hope that you are feeling better, a little bit better today than you were yesterday. Good morning, Joyce. Good morning. We're doing well. How are you? I hope that you're having a great Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Yay. So I'm going to keep working on my pillow. When I started this pillow, I was going to do this every Whip Wednesday, right? But then I got on a kick making dishcloths. And so they kind of took over. They really did take over. And so I just made dishcloths galore, right? Dishcloths, I mean, all kinds of dishcloths. So I've got them here. I really like that I have this big pile of dishcloths. I just really like it. It's just fun. It is so fun. Oh, you're doing good? Tanya's doing good too. Yeah. Tanya's doing good too, Joyce. And I think she's still sleeping. So I got on the dishcloth kick and I kind of set this to the side and I stopped crocheting. So I thought today I would just crochet this while on air and yeah, and see if I can make some progress on it while I chat with you. And so there you go. So, my friends, yesterday I had an eye doctor appointment. Now, this eye doctor appointment is with some eye surgeons, okay? And they have my chickens are not out. Miguel, I'll tell you why. As soon as I tell you about yesterday, I'll tell you why. Um, so yeah, so I had an eye surgeon appointment and I thought I was just going to go there and, and schedule um my surgery um for my cataract in my eye. And so I thought it was going to be quick, I thought it was going to go in, we were going to talk about this and he was going to go, "Okay, yes, let's schedule that surgery and then schedule the surgery." Well, my appointment was at 1:30 and we have to leave at least 40 minutes ahead of time, okay? And so but we leave a little bit sooner than that. So, anyway, we arrive and Tanya and hubby went with me, and Tanya brought her crochet. She was working on her octopus. And so there we go. So she's working on her octopus, and so she brought her crochet, and so we arrive and sit in the lobby, and we're sitting there, and this gentleman comes up, and he has what appears to be his wife's bag, right? It's and so he comes and Tanya says hello to him, and he sits, like we're sitting this way, and then there's a wall right here, and so he sits right there. And so, we're kind of chatting away, and he starts talking to her about crochet and how his wife crochets, and they're getting ready for an event where it's going to be like a craft sale event kind of a thing in the area. And so we're talking, and then she finishes up at the front desk, and she comes around to the waiting area, and she's sitting there, and she's like, she is doing headbands, she's crocheting headbands. And so Tanya's doing an octopus, and they talk for a little bit, and I say, well, I had started a table runner. And she's like, "Oh, okay, you're doing a table runner, you're doing octopus, I'm making headbands." She's like, "Well, we're just a little crochet craft corner, aren't we?" And we're like, "Yeah." So anyway, very shortly after that, I got called to the back. So I get called to the back, and I told Tanya, I said, "This place is really big." And I said, I don't even know how many waiting rooms they have, but they have waiting rooms in the back. So this is like giving you a false sense of busyness right here, because there is a lot going on in the back. And that one day, the last time I went, the back um, waiting areas were full, and the front waiting areas were full. And so anyway, so I get called to the back. Okay, so I get called into this room, and the young gentleman that was taking care of me at that time, because there were a lot of people that took care of me that day, yesterday. And so the gentleman called me into this room and had me sit down. They have like very dim rooms, right? Because a lot of times they're looking into your eyes, and these rooms are just naturally dim. So there was a piece of machinery there, and I had that test once before, and I was like, "Oh, I know what this is. I've had this happen before." And it was one of those periphery tests. Oh, when you have appointments with your retina specialist, you're there for a total of over 3 hours. Yes, hubby too. And so anyway, I go in, and it's a periphery test. So it's like a dome, a white, um, like half of a ball, right? And it's white, and it has little tiny holes in it. And it basically, you rest your head on the chin, and put your head, your forehead on the bar, and they line it up to where there's like a little yellow light shining in your eye, like centered with your eye, and you're supposed to look at that yellow light, and you're supposed to click a clicker every time you see a flash of light anywhere. So I don't know how I did, but halfway through the test, like I started getting tunnel vision and like things started going black. I was like having to blink a lot, and really concentrate. It was something else, let me tell you. And so anyway, they did the one eye and then they did the other eye. And so I had that test, and then he took me to waiting room number 2. Okay. So we go to waiting room number 2 and we're sitting there. And hubby's like, I never saw that test before. I never had that one. And I said, well, I've had it once before. And I said, when one of my eye doctors, like 10, 12 years ago, maybe even more, decided, yeah, you never know what you're clicking. It is overwhelming. It really is. And so that doctor, like I have thicker lenses than most people, according to one of my doctors. And so it gives a false read for glaucoma. And so apparently this periphery test thing is a test for glaucoma. And so I must have passed it because he said I still have some reactive like changes that happen in my eyes, which a lot of times over 50, it declines. So anyway, so I had that test, went to waiting room number 2. So I'm in waiting room number 2, and then I get called back, and she says, we're going to take some pictures. So I said, oh, okay, it's just a room to take pictures. And she's like, yes. So I said, okay. And so I told hubby, we'll wait in waiting room. She said, I'm going to take you to get pictures. So anyway, I go and, make your eyes really wide and stare straight ahead, and don't, stare at this one thing. And then this thing will flash and blah, blah, blah. And so I get pictures taken of my eyes. That's all good. She takes me back to waiting room number 3. So we get that taken care of. And then I get called back and I go into a room and I see someone else. And so this gentleman, he starts asking me all these questions, medical questions, background, how's your eyes, blah, 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 any changes and all this stuff. And so we talk for a long time. Then he does a regular eye test to see what my vision is. And so anyway, he does this eye test, and I've never had this before, but he had me look through this black thing that had all these little holes in it, and it helped focus like the letters that I was looking at. I've never seen that before. It was really the strangest thing. But anyway, so anyway, I have that. He is talking to me, and he does a regular eye test and everything. And, and then he does the is 1 better or 2 better? 1 or 2? Okay. And he changes 1 or 2. I hate that test. I really do, because a lot of times I don't, you think we have the same doctor. I know, right? And so then, it's like, I don't know if 1 or 2 is better. They're both bad, like, what am I don't know. So I really do hate that test, because most of the time I feel like I'm guessing. And like one time I said 2 when I meant 1, and I was like, no, I meant 1. And so anyway, when you've got perfectionistic tendencies, the 1 or 2 test that they're both blurry. It just really makes me a little cuckoo. So anyway, had that test, and then the doctor comes in, the real doctor. So that was, a good test. He looks in my eyes, he looks at the refraction and blah blah blah. And he's like, well, my right eye is worse than my left eye, but my right eye stayed stable, but my left eye got worse. So he's like, are you, yeah, they go too fast. They do. One or two. You can't even tell, what's the number? I don't know. Which one is one? Which one is two? I don't know. I hate that test. I really do. Oh my gosh. And so anyway, he's like, are you ready to, do the surgery? Are you ready to commit to it? I'm like, well, I've had a lot of medical things this year, and so I think I've met my deductible. I think maybe, before the end of the year we should, get it done, and that way I can just get this year over with, And so he's like, okay, good. And so anyway, we scheduled it out. So but so then he's like, okay, well, I need to get some more pictures. No, he said, I need to get some photos. We'll get some photos of your eyes. And then, we'll get that scheduled. And I said, well, I already had some photos. And he's like, you're right. You had photos, but I need to get some other photos. He said, that was for glaucoma. He said, the photos that I need right now are for measurements. I said, oh, okay. So, you're welcome, Miguel. You're welcome, my dear. And so anyway, I was like, okay. So he's like, just wait right here and someone will come get you. So this lady came and she got us, and okay, so this is waiting room number 4. Okay, so we're sitting there waiting, and so then she comes in, then someone else comes and gets me, and to take the second round of photos. So I'm sitting there and they're like, okay, really wide, and you're going to see this green flash and blah, blah. And so I'm sitting there, and, and they're taking pictures, and he's like, okay, it looks good, but let me just check for astigmatism. And I know I have an astigmatism, right? So he's waiting, and he's like, okay, eye number 1, that one's okay. He's like, let's check this one. He's like, up, a little bit of astigmatism. Okay. He's like, let's go over to this other machine. So we have to go over to another machine, and I have to get photos of my eyes a third time in a different machine. So he takes photos, and then he takes a look at them, and he's like, okay, these are good, these will do. And those were, good. Apparently it was a different machine that would take a better photo if you had the astigmatism, which that's when your eye kind of does a little wiggle or something, I think. And so, or a little shaky shake. And so anyway, third photo's done. He's like, okay, I'm going to take you over to another waiting room, and then we'll get you scheduled. I'm like, okay. So hubby and I go over to a 5th waiting room, number 5, waiting room number 5. And so we're over there, and then the scheduler comes, and she, greets me, and I go into her office, and we schedule the surgery. And so it's going to be in the beginning of November. So it's not going to interfere with Thanksgiving dinner, but it is going to be, so I'm having one eye done, and then 2 weeks later, the second eye done. So, oh, Lordy. Anyway, that's going to be fun. Everybody tells me it's not a big deal. So, I'm taking their word for it. Um, I, yeah. Anyway, I got a complete tour. You are right, Miguel. I got a complete tour. So then after that, then I just had to, like, the checkout area was just right across from the office that I was in. So I didn't have to go to another waiting area. This was the number 5 waiting area, was for the scheduling and checkouts. So anyway, oh my goodness gracious. So that was my yesterday. And then once I got checked out, then we went to the lobby and picked up my sweet sister-in-law, and then we went out and headed on home. So that was a long, long day. Catherine, what's on your hook? Are you crocheting, dear? Tell me what's on your hook. And Catherine, did you finish that table runner that you were working on? I think you did. But I just saw a photo of the project that you had told me where it was. So anyway, I saw it on my computer and it reminded me of your table runner. And I was wondering if you finished it. Oh, you did. Oh my gosh. Are you ready to put it on your table now? I am so ready for fall. Oh my goodness. You have 2 more pumpkin orders? Miguel, that's awesome. People are ready for fall, aren't they? Oh my goodness. Let's get the fall going. I am so ready for autumn. So, as of today, 33, I think 33 more days until autumn. Yes. 33 more days. And hey Debbie, how are you? I am doing well. And I hope that you're having a great Wip Wednesday. Do you have anything on your hook? Oh, you have it outside on your table. That is awesome. Oh, Catherine, I bet it's beautiful. I bet it's just absolutely beautiful. That is really nice. So, yeah, that was my yesterday. And I had expectations of going in, just sitting down and chatting with the doctor and like, okay, yeah, let's schedule it, blah blah blah. 5 waiting rooms later. Oh no, your sinuses are killing you this morning and you can't stop sneezing. What is in the air? What is in the air there? Oh my goodness. It sounds like something new has popped up. It just amazes me how I never really paid attention to it until I moved to East Tennessee, and I have my long driveway, and that's bringing it to my mind that like every time I go up and down the driveway, it's like there are seasons that are just so obvious on my driveway, because there is a season in the spring where I have all pink flowers. All pink flowers. And then there's a season where there's all white flowers. And now we're in a season where we're getting out of it, but there was a season where there were all these yellow flowers with black centers. They weren't black-eyed Susans, I don't think. They kind of look like, um, mm, they look more like they kind of look more like a daisy, which, black-eyed Susans kind of do look like a daisy. So, but I don't think that they're black-eyed Susans. Um, but, it just brought it to my attention a little clearer how things cycle through. And so something's going on in your area. Oh my goodness. That's making you sneeze so much. Oh, yes. Okay, so you vacuumed and you think that you stirred up dust and pollen. Pollen must be high today. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Oh, so Catherine is asking Miguel, did you say that you made a pumpkin with a leaf stitch? And he says a wheat stitch. I bet that is gorgeous. I bet it's absolutely gorgeous. Miguel, did you make up the pattern yourself, or did you find the pattern from a designer? If it's a designer name, can you let us know which one it is? And because that will be really cool. Now, my pumpkins are pretty, they're pretty, I mean, they're pretty plain, I would say. Pretty plain. I just do the back loop only, single or half double crochet, whichever one I'm in the mood for. And so then it gives the ridges that way. But, oh, okay, you posted a picture. Maybe I can see it. Let's see. Let me see if I can see the picture. Okay. Okay, let's see. Hmm. Yeah, I'm not seeing it very quickly. Ooh, that is pretty. Crochet with Claire. That's interesting. Hmm. Okay, let's see. Oh. Yeah, it's not showing. So, yeah, if I could, I would, but it's not showing up. So, all right. Oh, go to your post page. Okay, thanks, Miguel. Debbie says, nice. Okay, so let me see if I can go to, let's see. Let me see if I can. Okay, here we go. Aw. Okay, let's see. Aw. I just saw, Bob and Brad. I don't know if any of you have watched them, but they are chiropractors, and one of the first ones, and apparently Bob has passed. Bob had a disease that just struck him, and um, That's sad. I'll have to look at that a little later. Oh my. Okay, now let's see. Miguel. Um, okay, it's on your community page. Posts. Okay, let's see. Oh, your kitties. Okay, here we go. That is beautiful. Let me see if I can share it. Okay. Thank you, Miguel, for letting me share this. Share screen. Okay, here we go. So this right here is the pumpkin. Ooh, that's pretty too, Miguel. The blanket you made last year. Oh, that is a beautiful blanket, Miguel. Oh my goodness. Miguel, what is the stitch on that one? That is gorgeous. Look at the stitching on that. That is gorgeous. I love that. Oh my goodness. What a lot of work that you put into that. Beautiful work. Beautiful, beautiful work. Wow. That is beautiful. And this wheat stitch, that really looks nice. That really looks nice. I like that too. Very nice. Okay, let's see. One pumpkin is half double crochet in back loop, and the other one is wheat stitch. Um, that is beautiful. And oh my goodness, the blanket. Did you sell the blanket yet? That blanket's not going to stick around too long. And I hope that you didn't underprice it because that is a gorgeous blanket. Oh, good. You took them to church to lay out for pics. Plus, you have better lighting there. That blanket does look like it took a long time. What a beautiful, beautiful blanket. Wow. Thank you for sharing that photo, Miguel. Thank you. So, for those of you who have not subscribed to Miguel, his link, he is Who Knows. And let me see. I don't know if I know how to share it, but let me see if I can. Boop, boop, boop. Okay. Let me see if I can. Okay. Okay. I can do it this way. Oh, you followed a tutorial Wheat Stitch by Brianna Kay? Nice. Okay, there you go. It's, youtube.com / at who knows 7834. And that is Miguel's channel link. Okay. And so, oh, the blanket is big and heavy. Oh, wow. Do you know what that blanket? Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, Miguel. Listen, go over everyone and check out Miguel's channel and subscribe and give him a follow. Miguel, did you follow a pattern for that blanket? Do you remember who you got the pattern for? I've never seen that particular pattern in a blanket before, and what a great job. I mean, I know I sound like I'm just going on and on and on, but raving over that. My words are not doing it justice. How beautiful that blanket is. And may I say that the color choices that you made for that blanket are spot on. Yeah, they are really trending colors. And I like it because the blanket can appeal to a man or a woman. Nice job. I know black yarn gets, a bad rap because it is harder to see. It really is. It really is. But oh, it's on the idea of Apache Tears. I was thinking that it had kind of a Southwest vibe to it. Yeah, that is really, really pretty. Very pretty. Mm. Oh, so sad news. Sad news for me. Um, we're down to 19 chickens. I have to somehow predator proof my chicken yard. Um, it really kind of comes down to finances. We haven't been able to afford um, a an electric wire and a solar panel for the electric fence to add to the electric fence. And anyway, we tragically lost another one of our chickens. And it seems like I've lost, well, the first one that we lost was a little tiny chick, and I think she just got trampled by the other chicks. Um, it was just something that happened. And but the other four were definitely predators. Definitely predators. And um anyway, but did you see on my little thumbnail? I put a picture of Coach on my thumbnail. Coach is, thank you, Miguel. Thank you. It makes me really sad to think about. Um, you know, but my Coach, my rooster, I definitely have two roosters. I may have a third. Um, but these two have just really shown their feathers, and they're Rhode Island Reds. And I really think that I only got two Rhode Island Reds. And can you believe it? I think they're both roosters. But Coach is just so gorgeous. And he's coming out with some like teal looking feathers in the back. And I kind of feel like he's going to kind of feather out and be one of those like really, really pretty chickens that um, just has the tail feathers that are like flopped over the roosters. Anyway, he is taking his watching over the girls seriously. And but he climbed up on the back of my chair just to hang out with me the other day. So I took a selfie with him. And so I just had to use it. You know, my kids are grown, my grandkids live in other states, and so I share pictures of my chickens. What am I going to do? I don't know. So, oh, he does. Oh my goodness. Miguel says my big Roo Chico has those feathers on his tail that hangs over. I hope mine do too when they're done. Um, they are. I'm looking at a lot of the girls and everything. They're finally. I thought so. They had the little chicky fuzz, right, and then they got feathers. Well, they're having other feathers come in, so these feathers are even more grown up than the other ones. So this Friday will be 12 weeks. They're going to be 12 weeks old. So I can't believe that we've had them 3 months so far. Oh, good. Your subscriber that recognized you yesterday told you that she loves your chicken videos. I do too. I do too. I don't know. You know, there's just something about animals that just really just brings joy to our lives, right? Even, all the farm animals and everything. Yeah. Yeah. Um, so the blanket pattern came out of a magazine. Miguel can't remember which magazine, but it's on the idea of the Apache tears. Okay. And oh, you have another that is a long time whip that's made out of all scrap yarns, but it's a whip. Okay. Okay. Yeah, those whips, they'll get the best of us, won't they? Yeah. So I need to look up the wheat stitch and Apache tears and check those out because what a nice pattern. What a nice pattern. So yeah. So since that happened, we haven't let the girls out because, well, my uncle thinks that it's a raccoon because of the way they're being attacked. And so we really have to fortify the fence area a little bit better. And, right now it's keeping the chicks in, but it's not keeping the predators out. And anyway, we're working on a we're working on a solution in our minds, and maybe come payday we can fix it. Payday's not too far away. So anyway. Oh, I like doing this because this is so easy. You're just doing a half double crochet and just going around and around and around in a circle. And once these ends meet, which they're right here, then we can call it a day and put it together over a pillow. Yeah. So I have some pillow forms, and so I made pillows for the little granddaughters. So You can crochet letters and stuff like that. And I was thinking that, how they make the pillows and then they have the sayings on them? What if I did a pillow like this and then, like in white, wrote, crocheted letters to say something, like a saying? Or if I did like a solid blue and then did letters to say something. How cute would that be? I don't know. And then you got to think, okay, well, what are you going to say? I don't know. I don't know. A goose is good security. Well, I was thinking about that. I was thinking about that. And when I got my chicks, if they had had a goose, I was going to get a goose. But geese are kind of, because then if they grow up with them, then they're more likely to just be integrated and think that they're one of them and just, go along with the show. Miguel, do you lock your chickens up at night? Do you have, and then your yard too? Do you have any do you have any predators that try to come into your chicken yard? I don't know. Ooh. Catherine says, I'm going to make ghosts with my Cozy Cub yarn with a size 4 hook. Ooh, you're going to get your size 4 hook out and make some ghosts. That's so cute. Kids love those. Kids love those. And people love them when they like to decorate, or like if you work in an office, you're going to want something to put on your desk that's cute. Yeah. Okay, good. You go out and lock up your coop. Yeah. Well, see, every time we've lost a chick, it's been in the evening. Like it's not dark out, it's dusk. And so my Uncle Harry does say, the predators come out at dusk when it's just starting to get dark out. Well, the sun's going down a little bit, and that's when they come out, it seems like. So that's when we've lost four of them. And yeah, so we're down to 19. It makes my heart sad. I knew it was a possibility, but it's a possibility, but you just think, oh, it's not going to happen. It's just like everything else, right? Oh no, something did get your handsome silky Roo Big Daddy. Oh, and you never found his body, just lots of feathers. Oh, I'm so sorry. That's heartbreaking. It really is. It really is. And it seems like the ones that get attacked are the more docile ones, the ones that are so loving and sweet, and they come over. I'm just so thankful. My Catherine, she is still around, and she the other day I went out there and let them out. This was before this happened. I went out and let them out, and I dragged a chair over into the shade area, and I sat there for about a half hour, and they were all over me. That was when Coach got up on my shoulder. But anyway, Catherine came over, and she's like at my feet, and she's just like making eye contact with me, and I'm like, hello, Catherine. And Naomi was out there, and yeah. Anyway, it was so fun. And Coach was all about it. He was like, I'm here for the party. What are you doing? It was like they all just like gathered around, and they were all so excited that I was sitting there. And talking with them, and yeah. So that was fun. That was fun. They do get used to you, and they do get to know who is, like, giving them treats and bringing them stuff. So anyway, well, gang, it's been an hour and it's been a lot of fun. Oh yeah, no, Catherine. Catherine is doing well. She is doing well, and she's just as sweet as ever. And she wants me to pick her up, just like she always did. And so yeah, she's a gorgeous little bird. Oh my goodness, I just love her to pieces. And Marshmallow is still there, I think. Um, I'm not sure, but I think Dolly Parton was one um, that got caught by a predator. But um, anyway, and then we have the chickens. They're Wyandottes, and they have silver whitish heads, and they kind of remind me. One of them especially reminds me of a bald eagle, so I named her Freedom. And then the other one, the head is not as pronounced white. It does have white on it, but anyway, I call her Liberty, because they kind of, remind me of the bald eagles. And you gave them frozen grapes yesterday. That's awesome, Miguel. That is awesome. Yeah, so anyway, I hope that you have a wonderful Wednesday and a wonderful rest of the week. And I will, let me see. Will I see you on Friday? Let me look, because I know I have, oh yes, I will see you on Friday. I do have my my ultrasound for the thing on my neck right here. But that's at 3 o'clock. So I'll be able to do the morning. And I hope that you have a wonderful day. Stay safe, because I really care about you. Be kind, because this world can be so cruel, and we can be kind and get hooking, because that helps everything, right? Crochet helps almost everything. So I'll see you on Friday, and have a good rest of the week.